Hello, welcome to Blue Mountain Yoga. I'm Diane and this is Sherry. Today we have a practice for you that is for back health. In back health here at Blue Mountain Yoga, we include 3 components in our classes. The first one are back openers or lengthening the muscles. The second component is strengthening the back. And the third component is strong back, strong abs. We have a saying here that if I have engaged in strong abdominal muscles, then it helps my back muscles. So today we're going to take you through a practice. It has a seated component at the beginning, then we're going to do some standing asana or poses, and then we're going to come back to the floor for some more seated ones. We also have a component at the end of the class for piriformis syndrome and sciatica. We ask that you do not engage in this video or this practice unless you have consulted with your doctor. Welcome, we're excited you're here. So Sherry's going to take a child's pose, and we're going to, this is Libby Lou here. She might be with us on the mat also. Sherry's going to take a child's pose, and that's how we're going to start this practice today. This child's pose has a wonderful component of opening the hips. She has a rounded back, and we talk a lot about in back health, keeping the back rounded so that the spine is not compressed and pushing in. Lengthening the muscles, engaging the muscles. We also have an option here. We have props here that you can use. We really recommend that in practice you use props. Sherry's going to use a block for her head in this child's pose. We recommend in this practice that you have blankets. You can get yoga blankets or you can use a blanket from home. We also have bolsters. Pillows work fine with that also. So rise to a cat. And Sherry's going to take a couple of cat-cows here and neutral spine, just moving organically between cat, rounding the back, getting into the spine, right here in the lumbar spine, cascading the head, dropping to cow. We don't do a lot of compressions or curving in our back classes because it does not provide for back health. So we'll do more neutral tabletop and rounding the back and cat-cow. So Sherry, just begin to move organically in this movement. And then she's going to drop hip to heel. We love this movement here because it really begins to draw in the muscles in the side, the big quadratus laborum, or we call the QL. Really a lot of twisting in this also. So moving hip to heel here, enjoying that movement, always moving with breath. Maybe we put a couple of cats in the middle of it. If you have a practice where you enjoy down dogs, this is a great place to put down dogs. And we will offer multi-level options here. Finding stillness in your tabletop. We're going to walk the hands into what we call a modified rabbit. So the hands are at the kneecaps. The head is dropped down, providing comfort for the neck. And again, she has this very rounded back. Walk the hands up the thigh bones, enjoying that lengthening of the spine, crown of the head to the sky, nice strong spine. We're going to engage the muscles in the back very briefly before we rise to stand. We're going to find a half camel. So reaching the right hand up, reaching the left hand down, moving again dynamically, organically, providing us with a little bit of warm-up here. We don't do full camels in this practice because of the back stress. So continuing to move. Libby's got a little nap going on back there. Nice. Just enjoying the back firing up. We're going to find stillness, bring the hands to the hips. And we're going to slide the right foot forward. We're going to do a walk through here. We find this to be a very functional movement. Getting up and down off the floor. You can use your blocks here. High side, medium side. So here's the high side, here's the medium side, and the low side. If you don't want to use the blocks, you can place your hands directly on the earth. step the left foot forward and come to forward fold. So in this forward fold, Sherry, I just want you to drop in, rounding the back, soft bend to the knees. Maybe shake the head side to side, just enjoying that rounding of the back, lengthening here. Let's drop the blocks out and let's take the hands all the way to the earth and maybe walk over to the side. And again, we're getting into the QL down here, enjoying that twisting motion, rounding. Nice. Very soft bend to the knees and roll all the way up. Enjoy that unwinding of the spine all the way to the top. Nice. Take an inhale, high mountain. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. So look out front, nice flat back here. Not really anything but strengthening the back. Got some hamstrings and glutes going on. Forward fold. And root through the feet and rise to high mountain and mountain pose. Crescent lunge. We're going to step back, crescent lunge, right foot. So step back to crescent lunge. We use crescent lunge a lot because it recruits and ignites the back muscles, one of our objectives and intentions here. It also provides ankle stability and helps with balance. And we're going to line that right hip up, pulling it back. Starting with the hands on the hips, because if this is new to you, it helps with balance. When you're ready, Sherry, if you would take the hands to the sky. Again, you can look to the sky if you'd like to or keep your dristi straight. Think about firing all these muscles up, recruiting them. The whole chain is nice and energized. And we're going to take a bow here. So Sherry's going to bow, again with the intention of strengthening. And rise, and bow again, and rise, and one more time, hands on hips this time. Again, if balance is a challenge, hands to hips for that balance. We're energizing the back, and rise to the top. Wide-legged forward fold star, so 5-pointed star. We're pivoting to the front. Sherry's going to place her feet at 12 o'clock. Weight is in the middle of the heels. We're going to walk the shoulder blades down the back, pull the shoulder blades together, hands to hips, and we're going to take a wide-legged forward fold. Micro bend to the knees. We love this pose for backs. She's going to drop in, drop the head, round the back, cascade the head. I'm going to provide blocks here just as an option. If you're not open quite yet, blocks are available to you to get the hands on the earth. So rounding that back, creating space in the spine, elongating the muscles. She's going to roll up very slowly. Just enjoying that trip to the top. 5-pointed star, rise. Hands to hips. And let's take that wide-legged forward fold again. So drop in. Palms flat this time, either on blocks. If you can walk down to the earth, then let's move the blocks. And we're going to take a halfway lift. So halfway lift, fingertips, look out front, nice flat back. Getting into this area again that might be affected by sciatica or piriformis. Palms flat. Drop the head, micro bend to the knees, and roll to the top, nice and slow. Kind of a ragdoll effect. Nice. Inhale, hands high, hands come to hips. Wide-legged forward fold. We're going to add a twist here. We love twists in our back health classes. Drop the right hand. First, she's going to twist to the left. She's going to place her hand on her hip first as an option. If this is new to you and you'd like that. Also, if you want a little bit different pose, you can lift this hand to the sky. We are twisting the thoracic spine right here, so this left rib goes to the sky. Twists are great for back health. Release that left hand to the earth and rise the right hand to the sky. So twisted, wide-legged forward fold. Nice. Thinking about the thoracic spine. With each exhale, we're going to twist a little bit more. Release to the earth, round the back, just drop in, enjoying, and roll to the top. We're going to pivot to crescent lunge. We're going this way, so pivot to crescent lunge. Nice. Finding again our crescent lunge, pulling the right hip back here, stabilizing the ankle. This is great for ankle stabilization. We're going to bow one more time, so go ahead and bow and rise. Hands to hips if that is where you want to go in your practice today. Bow again and rise. Mountain pose, step in, hands to mountain pose. And we're going to add a little back strengthening here. So Sherry's going to do some airplane taps in an airplane. So crescent lunge, left foot step back. A little balance, yeah. Draw the right hip back. Now, you can either stay in airplane as a supported airplane with a tap with the left foot back pointed. There you go. And we're going to draw the hands back in airplane. You're also welcome to leave them on the hips for balance. So Sherry is either going to stay here, energizing the back muscles here, or she's going to begin to rise, whatever she feels like on her mat today, whatever her practice is, and release. And one more time, airplane, we can stay kickstand or we can come high. Energizing the back and release. Nice. We're going to do airplane taps now. This is another back energizer. So she's just going to lift her left leg, tapping, and you'll feel it in the glutes as well as all up and down the chain here. Energizing the back. And mountain pose. Let's take a standing cat right here. Hands come to the thigh bones, and you're going to round the back. Again, we're doing a little bit of the oppositional pose or asana that we did before, rounding the back, creating a long line of the spine. Round it up, roll to the top. One more time, standing cat. Rise to the top. And next is a standing twisted forward fold. We're going to take the hands on the quad. Left hand is going to go on the thigh bone here. No, right hand on the thigh bone here. And you're going to reach across to me. We forgot this. So you're going to reach across to me. Look up under the armpit. Good. So she's really looking up under here, twisting and creating a nice thoracic spine twist again, getting into those lower back muscles. And we're going to reverse this. So left hand comes to the thigh bone and reach out, twisting and releasing under the armpit. It's almost a hita if you do any of the other poses with the hita parshvakasana and things like that. Come high, mountain. Hands to quads or thigh bone and standing mad cat one more time. Drop the head and roll to the top. Nice. And mountain pose. We're going to reverse that whole flow. So crescent lunge, left foot steps back. Do it on the other side. This is a form of a vinyasa. So stabilizing the foot. Nice hands on the waist for balance. And we're going to take a couple of bows here. Let's do 3, Sherry. So hands high or hands on the waist. Take 3 bows. Energizing the back. And rise. 2 more. Energizing the back. And rise. And one more time. However you wish to do this in your expression and your practice today. And rise. Open to 5-pointed star. So we're going to do this again, second side. Hands come to waist. Drop in for a wide-legged forward fold. Round the back. And let's bring the hands between the legs, maybe rounding the back a little bit more, cascading the head. feet are pointed straight at 12 o'clock, creating that nice rounded spine here. Bend the knees and roll to the top. Nice and easy. Nice. 5 pointed star. Hands to waist. Round the back. Drop in. And let's take our spinal twist on this side. So left hand is going to find the earth. Right hand is going to fly. You always have the option of blocks. Finding that thoracic twist here. Nice spinal twist. Left hand flies to the earth. Right hand goes high. Just enjoying that spinal twist. And release. Big bend to the knees, ragdoll, round the back up, enjoying that space. And step into mountain, step to me, to mountain pose. Nice. So in this first part of this flow, we've done lots of elongating of the back. We've done rounding of the back. We've done energizing of the back. We're going to move to our ab portion, abdominal portion next, because we say strong back, strong abs. So we're going to go to the floor. She's going to take a big inhale, lift high, forward fold, halfway lift, and fold. At this point, step to plank or tabletop. Step back to plank or tabletop. This is again part of our functional piece that we do here. So in a plank is wonderful for abs. It really recruits and energizes all the muscles in the body. She's going to take her gaze. It looks pretty neutral here. Push away from the mat, and we're going to energize these shoulder blades, pushing toward the mat. If you want a little bit more in your plank, you're welcome to raise the right leg. Maybe you cross the right leg over to the left. Do a couple push-ups, whatever you feel like. We're going to find tabletop now. Continuing with our abdominal theme. We're going to do bird dog or tabletop. You can also do this in plank. In this practice, we're going to do this in a tabletop position. So 3-point right side. Good correction, not arching the back, pulling the belly to the spine, recruiting everything all up and down the back, energizing knee to nose, round the back, drop the knee. Again, the rounding of the spine, 3-point. Knee to nose. Great place for down dog. If you want a more energized practice, you can take this to down dog, send it high. You can also do it in plank. Knee to nose. And release it. 3-point left side. Always being mindful of keeping the belly pulled to the spine in a neutral back. Knee to nose. Send it high. Knee to nose. Send it high. Last time. With intention and slowly, knee to nose, rounding the back, creating space for breath, and release to tabletop. Take a couple of cats here. You're welcome to take some cows if that's in your practice. Maybe some hip to heels. Enjoying a little organic movement before we continue with our ab work here. We do a lot of hip to heels here. We really enjoy it because it gets into the big muscles on the side, the QL. And we're going to find boat next, another great ab back recruiter. So Sherry is going to find your basic boats here. And the intention here, and let's start with the hands on the thighs, on the thigh bone. The intention here is to really straighten and lengthen the back so that you're using the back muscles and pulling the belly in. So basic version right here. Take a couple of breaths, lift and smile. Second version, hands are going to go out front. All the way down, we're going to spark the hands, firing everything up. Always mindful of pulling all of this in, a nice boat. Rise the hands to the sky, a little bit harder, keeping that back nice and lifted. Try not to float back. If you want more in this pose, we're not going to continue, but if you want more, you can raise the legs to a true boat. You can also take the hands down to the thigh bones here. You also have the option of a V-sit if you know that in your practice, and boat canoes. So let's take a boat again, one more time, last time, all the way to the sky. So find your edge here, Sherry. Don't slump the back. Good. Nice, nice. We're going to hold this for about 5 breaths. I'm not going to do that now, but for 5 breaths and release it. So in a practice, you would do this boat probably 4 or 5 times. Let's take a forward fold. So let's do caterpillar. So not hinging at the waist, but rounding the back here in caterpillar, or Paschimottanasana is the other word, the Sanskrit for it. So we are intentionally rounding the back. Some practices are very intentional about folding at the hips, but because this is a back health care class, we're rounding the spine. It's not about the hamstrings in this class, so we're rounding the spine, cascading the head. Walk it up the thigh bone, up the shin bones, nice and slow. And let's do that again. Send the hands to the sky. Take a rounded back. Put your hands on your kneecaps. Rounding the back. Now drop in. Just enjoying that nice rounded space. If the neck is comfortable here. And rise. And we're going to take the next pose or asana that we're going to do is a half pigeon. We're going to show you several ways to do that. Half pigeon is great for sciatica as well as piriformis. In piriformis, the lower part of the spine gets confused, and the sciatic nerve gets confused, and you get pain underneath the bottom in the piriformis muscle. So in this asana, we really focus on lengthening some of those muscles. So this is a half pigeon. You want to be sure that the hips are squared, and we're doing a rounded back here, again, for back health. I'm going to place a blanket under Sherry's knee, because we've talked beforehand. Go ahead and let it down. She has a little bit of a challenge in keeping that knee straight, and we want the hips straight in pigeon, in half pigeon, and we're going to round her back. So I'm going to grab what we call a baby bolster here at Blue Mountain Yoga, and then I'm going to place another blanket under her hip, because this hip doesn't quite reach the floor, so we're going to support it. There are some practitioners that are able to get that hip all the way to the earth. And we all practice at different levels, so we are very respectful of what is accessible to the practitioner. So opening the piriformis, the obturator muscles, all the muscles underneath here. An intention of helping with some of the back pain. This is a pretty intense pose. We'll hold it here if we're warm for 3 to 6 minutes, 5 minutes. It's not a pose that we particularly hold very long just because it's so intense. It does feel good though. Also, I like to be warm when I do this pose. It's hard to do cold because it's pretty intense. All right, so we're going to move on to on the other side, we are going to choose to do a supine pigeon. It has the same intention as the half pigeon, but if you have a challenge in getting down into half pigeon, supine pigeon is available to you. And I love this pose. If I'm not warm, I do it. I'm going to place a blanket under her head. And you can also do this against the wall if you don't have someone assisting you. So in this supine pigeon, obviously they're on their back. I'm going to take her leg and put it on my thigh bone. And we're going to very gently pull here. Here's where the intention is with the muscles in the back. We saw that same thing happen in half pigeon. Do you feel that? Mm-hmm. Okay. Again, if you are by yourself and don't have a helper, you can put this foot against the wall and you can press with that hand. And again, you want to feel this all back in those muscles there. This is a pose that I would hold for 3 to 5 minutes. Again, opening up those glute muscles underneath. All right, we're going to release. And go ahead and take the feet all the way out. Sherry, take a long body stretch here, lengthening the body. And while we're here, we're going to take it's a lying on the back Padangusthasana that also helps the outer thigh. It helps the muscles under the glutes, the piriformis. Also helps the iliotibial band, the IT band. I'm going to find a strap, and we're going to find a reclined Padangusthasana first, and then we're going to drop that foot out, okay? So we're going to take a strap. Remember the rules with a strap. You don't want to use them when you're not warm because you can hurt yourself. And we're going to drop this leg out of the strap. And this leg is going to become a kickstand. Sherry's going to roll towards you. She's going to bend this leg. Good. Going to come off the mat a little. Can you scoot back a little? Good. Right. Awesome. And we're going to stack the hips as much as it's available to her. And we're going to very gently pull toward her head. At some point, she may be able to reach out and find that big toe. Are you able to reach and find it? Good. Do you feel that here? Okay. So this is a great iliotibial band, IT band therapy movement, and then also you can feel it in your piriformis and obturator and those muscles there. Okay, let's take the other side. Let's turn around. Let's drop you out and turn around. This is a great stretch. This is really good asana for also athletes. If you're an athlete, when you're warm, it really it helps the piriformis as well as the IT band. She's going to very gently drop. She's going to use this foot as a kickstand. You're more open on this side. Good. I like to coach this with the hips stacked. And go ahead and reach out. Can you find your toe? If you're warm, you're going to pull that toe. You're going to let go of that, and just grab your toe. Good. Nice. How's that feel?
This is good.
Yeah. And I would hold this pose for as long as it feels good to you. Again, I like to be warm when I do it, finding everything here. We use this in our Yoga for Athletes class because it is so good for IT band. All right, we're going to roll back on the back. Sherry, I'll take this, and you're going to take a long body stretch again, lengthening the spine. We're going to come back to full pigeon. We have not done full pigeon. We've done half pigeon, supine pigeon. Again, we are looking at all the stuff in the back with these asana. So full pigeon is it's called fire log also, lengthening the spine. The toes come here, you're stacking, and you should feel this back here. If you're warm and it feels good, you can press a little, and that will help recruit back here. I like to hold this if I'm warm for 5 minutes if I can. And then if you are someone who is not, let's go to the other side. We're going to go to the other side. If there are mobility issues there, you can take your block. That's a little high. So let's take this. You can take some form of support here. Good. And if you continue to practice, you will open the hips. Yoga is awesome because just by practicing a couple to 3-4 times a week, you will feel your body open. So that is full pigeon. We're going to find a supported bridge now. So Sherry's going to take supported bridge. We're going to use a block for this. And this is more of a rest asana or pose. We are going to eventually make it more active in the back. So finding feet hip width apart. The block is used to support the spine. And you want to come to the bottom of the spine, and when you're in this pose, you may have to walk up and down the spine until it feels comfortable. Doesn't come to the middle of the spine in this pose. It's kind of at the base of the spine. So this is a supported bridge, very passive pose. We're going to turn this into a little bit more of an active back pose. Sherry's going to bring her knees to the chest. Good. And you can see how this brings curvature to the spine and lengthening to all those muscles behind. It's a reversed compressed child's pose is what this really looks like. We're going to further to extend this, and Sherry's going to bring her knees up to waterfall. So we call that, the pose before this, a regressed waterfall or an option. This is more of a waterfall. Some practitioners don't like this because they feel like it bothers their back. So it's really about you on your mat, whatever you feel like works. You can bend the knees if you like that better, or you can come to full waterfall. I like waterfall. It really, and this is it really opens things. This is an option for legs up wall also, if you're in a place where you cannot do legs up wall. So we're going to take a couple of breaths here in practice. Maybe you stay for 2 minutes, 3, whatever serves you on your mat. We're going to find a compressed child's pose next. And then we're going to come into Shavasana, our final pose. So we do, at Blue Mountain Yoga, we do several different types of child poses. We call this compressed child's pose. I'm sure there's other names for it. And the knees are together in this. I love this pose for back health because the back is really rounded in here. Sherry's going to take her hands back and come to her heels. You also have the option, and she's using a block. When I first became a yoga practitioner, it hurt my neck, so I used to put my head all the way on the floor, so I use the block. You also have the option of, does it bother you, to put your head on the floor. Look at how rounded and open the spine is. Great for back health. You also can put your hands down by your chest if you have a practitioner that's not quite open to put their hands on the heels. You have that option. The intention here is to get that spine nice and elongated and open. The last thing we're going to do is Malasana squat before we find our way to Shavasana. I love Malasana squat. I do this a lot at work. I work in the healthcare field, and when my back is bugging me, I use Malasana squat. Sherry is going to do there's 2 different kinds. We do for our back health, we do the kind with the feet together. Yeah, the heels together like a ballerina. Good. Are you okay doing that? Yeah. Okay. We love this because of the rounding of the spine. You can drop the head. You can use blocks here. And look how round the spine is. I love this at work because I can drop into it. Let me give you another block. I can drop into this in most lounges and nobody knows what you're doing in the healthcare. And it just provides that great back opening. So this is one of our favorites for back health. There's another Malasana squat, which we won't demonstrate, but it has wide feet, and that's more of a hip opener. All right, are you ready? We're going to find Shavasana. Right. Thank you, Sherry. And we chose today to do, we're not going to do traditional Shavasana because this is back health class. We're going to do a Shavasana that has the legs elevated and the back nice and relaxed up against the bolsters. We have covers on these that slide, so we're going to put a blanket between this. It's a baby bolster and a big bolster. Sherry's going to scoot all the way up. Finding that nice rest and relaxation during our final pose of Shavasana. Letting the breath be long as you inhale, letting the body be soft as you exhale. Pressing the bottom of the spine into the earth, pressing the shoulder blades into the earth. So that is our back care class today. Thank you for joining us at Blue Mountain Yoga. We included really four different things in here. We included elongating the back or rounding the back, elongating those muscles. We included twists for the lower outer spine. We included abdominals because we say strong back, strong abs. And we also included a little bit of strength work. Thank you for joining us. Hope to see you again soon. Subscribe to Blue Mountain Yoga. Thank you.
Namaste.
Namaste. All right, girl, hopefully